Okay, good day everyone. So, how are you today? So, I know na you are in good health and in safety. So, the second quarter is already finished. No? Tapos na tayo sa second quarter na topic natin or na lessons natin. No? Now, we are going to proceed na for the third quarter lessons. Diba? This time even we are in pandemic, so we still our learning it should be continued, no? So kahit na nasa pandemic tayo, kailangan pa rin natin continue ang ating pag-aaral. So that is the very important things na natatuwa no nga dili yun na siya makawat. No one can get these things to us, no? So to continue our education. So that is the blessing to us, no? As students, teachers, that we have an opportunity to continue learning or to continue educate ourselves even in the midst of pandemics. Now today, I will going to introduce you new lessons. So new lessons in mathematics 8. So hopefully you are able to listen, no? To listen and participate in our lesson or the activity in our lesson so that you can able also to understand the topic. Now I will going to introduce you the lesson for today. So that lesson is describe mathematical system and its axiomatic structure in general. So in geometry in particular. A defined terms. So take note, defined terms. Defined terms, postulate, and theorems. So we are now in introducing the geometry. So we are entering the geometry lesson. So we are already done with the algebra. So tapos na tayo sa algebra. First quarter, we focused only on algebra, factoring, especially the polynomial function. Now here and then in the second quarter we discussed the inequalities, the relation, the function, so even the linear equation. So we discussed already that one. Now we are going to proceed. What is the geometry in the field of geometry? So another field of mathematics which is in geometry. Now here our first topic we are going to tackle here is about defined term, undefined term, postulate, and theorem. I know you have already background in your grade 7 what is the geometry, especially the basic term in geometry. So in this lesson you are able to first describe mathematical system. So mathematical system related to geometry, and then define the terms in an axiomatic system and come up with a concept map to show the interrelationship between the different terms. So then differentiate axioms, postulates from theorems and provide at least 3 examples for each of them. Later on you will able to describe that one. And construct or formulate real-life problem that may be solved through the use of concept and axiomatic system. So ano ba yung axiomatic system? Ano ba yan? So later on we will discuss that one. And or aspire to be a great thinker by seeking more knowledge in mathematics, particularly in geometry. So this is our objectives now that we are going to tackle in this lesson. So hopefully that we absorb or we understand the topic so that we can able to achieve this goal or achieve this objective in this lesson. So now, let's start now. Let's start it with activity. So hopefully you are always there. Pay attention. So give your time for this video only. So activity 1 we call it give me. So the title of this activity is give me. Now you are going to observe this picture, so observe and then give 3 objects as example for each of the following points: line, plane, solid, figure. So in this picture you are to investigate here. If you can observe or you can find an object or a figure that represent the point, line, plane, and solid figure. Okay, so I will only give you only 3 minutes, and maybe later on. So we will discuss now later, no. But in your own, just write it in your paper, no, so that you can comment or you can send me your answer, no, through messenger. So, are you done? There are many objects here now that represent a point, line, plane, solid figure, and solid figure. So at least 3 of each object now. Okay, are you done? Okay, let's check. So point. So point now, there are these are the example that represent the point. Tip of the clock. Tip of the clock hand. Handle of the drawer. Eye of the piggy bank. So those are the example of the point. That you remember that the object. Then the line, edge of the table, spear, or edge of the map. So there's a line, di ba? Plane. So top of the table, surface of the book with the surface of the book, or floor surface, the floor, the surface of the floor, or the solid figure. We have book, clock, lamp. So, or as many as you observe there, no, in the picture. So everybody, nakakuha ba ani na mga object? Did you we have a same observation? So same batag nakita ng mga answer? Okay, that's good if you you got your object now. Now, so let us study. We are going to proceed on our topic for this day. Here, I have a picture here. So, what did you see? What did you see about the picture? Do you think it is possible to make a valid conclusion without even going through the process of investigation? So what would you do if you were asked to make a decision that will affect many people? Many aspects in our life involve decision. In this lesson, you will be able to learn the foundation in basic term in geometry and reasoning. So that's why this lesson involve investigation or the process of investigation to come up idea or analysis, especially in geometry. Okay, so here in this picture, it is possible to get the circumference of the orange in the picture based on the dot which is on it. So it is possible to get the circumference of this orange, because this orange is circle, the circumference of this orange based on this dot. Then have you ever wondered that if you continuously put all together all the small lemon just like a dot infinitely, what will you form? So i-connect natin lahat ng lemon, small lemon. So ano ma-form natin? Then can you form a line if two objects like root in a plane? Ma-form ba tayo ng line if we have two objects? So these two objects, like this orange. So may ma-form ba tayo ng line? So let's check on. Or let me ask you about this figure. What kind of solid figure is this? What are the different parts of this solid figure that you can still name? Then how many edges are in this solid figure? How many vertices are there? What about the number of faces? Okay, take note. Take note, because later on we can able to discover through the process of investigation and listening also to our lesson for this day. So always pay attention so that those questions so we can able to answer that one later on. Okay, for our next activity, so activity to axiomatic structure of geometry, no? Axiomatic structure of geometry. So what is this? Now here we have axiomatic system here. Now in this term, different term here, no? Kita niyo ang mga iba't ibang mga words, no? About the axiomatic system. So define the following terms inside the box. So you are going to define this term, no, in your own, and then come up with a concept map to show the interrelationship between the different terms. So you are going to define based on your own definition and then come up with a concept map, no, based on this term. But uh, here, no, ito yung form natin. Now, if you make your own concept map, no, or definition, so now let's try to compare. Let's try to compare the concept map that you have based on this concept map. So in this concept map, as you can see here, axiomatic postulate. So ito yung pinakataas na axiom or postulate. Axiom or postulate. And then below the axiom and postulate, we have the axiomatic system. Then below the axiomatic system, we have theorem. Then below the theorem, we have corollary and lemma. But what you see here? So axiomatic system, so included na doon ang the undefined terms and defined terms, no? Dito na yun makita natin ang defined terms at undefined terms. So ano yung undefined terms? We have point, line, and plane, di ba? You familiar already this term, di ba, in grade 7. Then we have also the defined terms. So later on, we are going to tackle what are those defined terms and the undefined terms. And also, the 5 postulate. We also tackle the 5 postulate later on. Okay? So not only postulate, no, but also the theorem. We have the different types of theorem. Okay, based on the concept map that we have, the first term there is postulate or axiom, no? Or axiom or postulate. So what is axiom or postulate? So in our definition here is a statement that is taken to be true. So it means taken to be true, it means do not need to prove it. So do not need to prove it, no? So napatunayan na kahit walang patunay. So that is what it means, no? Is taken to be true to serve as a premise or starting point for further reasoning and arguments. An axiom is any mathematical statement that serves as a starting point from which other statements are logically derived. So like for example here, give an example, a line contains at least 2 points. Diba? If you have a line, so there at least 2 points there is belong to that line. So you don't need to prove it, no? You don't need to prove it. So a plane contains at least 3 non-collinear points. Then through any 2 points, there is exactly 1 line. So ito, di ba? Alam niyo na ito, di ba? During your grade 7, na-discuss na ito points, line, and plane. So it's already discussed there, no? Then through any 3 non-collinear points, there is exactly 1 plane. Then if 2 points lie in a plane, then the line joining them lies in that plane. Okay, next we have the axiomatic system. So again, this is our concept map, axiom, postulate, then axiomatic system. So below the axiom and postulate. So axiomatic system consists of undefined terms. So what are those undefined terms? Point, line, and plane. So those 3, no? So those are the undefined terms. So primitive terms, or in other words, no? It is any set of axioms from which some or all axioms can be used in conjunction to logically derived theorem. So that is an axiomatic system. Now later on, we will going to tackle also, no, in our next video. We are going to tackle the undefined terms. We are going to discuss what is the undefined term. Okay, so next we have here the theorem. Now what is the theorem? So according to our definition here, is a statement proven based on axioms, other theorems, and some set of logical connectives. So, anong ibig sabihin nito, no? Is a statement proven based on axioms, other theorems, and some set of logical connectives. So, it means, ang theorem, so, pinapatunayan na sa pamagitan ng reasoning or mga ebidensya. So, unlike the postulate, it don't need to prove it, no? But ang theorem, ma-prove, kailangan siya ng mga proving or mga evidence, no? To be accepted as truth. So, to be accepted as truth, no? So, kailangan siyang, we conduct the investigation. Now, we need to conduct an investigation in theorem. So, unlike the postulate, so you don't need to prove it. But theorem, you need to find evidence or as accepted truth. No? So, that is a theorem. So, like for example, if two lines intersect, then they intersect in exactly one point. No, you need to prove it. No, you need to prove it. If a point lies outside the line, then exactly one plane contains both the line and the point. Then if two lines intersect, then exactly one plane contains both lines. So you need to show it, no, as accepted truth, as evidence, because when we or if we are kanang reading lang only the statement, no, so hindi natin daling ma-understand, no, hindi natin kagad maintindihan. Okay, so we need to as evidence, as accepted truth, no? So here our concept map. So the theorem is below the axiomatic system. The postulate or axiom is a kind of statement that do not need to prove it. Then theorem is a statement that we need to prove it. No? That is a theorem. Okay, next we have here a. Okay, so our next here is the corollary. So this corollary is a theorem that is usually considered an easy consequence or result of another theorem. So something that naturally follows as a result, no, that is a corollary. So like for example, when we say that love was naturally passion, so the corollary there or the result, no, that immediate result, that one, jealousy is normal, diba? If you love someone, so you always there is a jealousy, diba, in your feelings. If you love someone, so you are always jealous, diba? Especially if he is with others, no, he is with others. So that is an example of corollary, you know, the effect or the consequences or the consequence. So another one here is the lemma. Lemma is generally used to describe an auxiliary fact that is used in the proof of a more significant result. So, or significant result, or even it is a minor result, it is a significant, because the whole or the sole purpose is to help in proving that theorem. So that is the lemma, no? Even it is a minor result or gamay lang siya, no? Maliit na result lang, but it is important because it helped to prove that theorem, or it is the stepping stone, no, to move to the next. And here is our concept map, no, that we show a while ago. Example here. Example, we have a theorem, angle at the center theorem. So that is our theorem. No? Then the corollary, angle subtended by the same arc. That's one. No? So if we have angle here, the center, so angle subtended by the same arc. So it might be they are. So it must be they are in the same arc. No, it is arc. Then ang ating lemma, angle in the same circle theorem. So means as angle, it must not just semicircle. Angle here is semicircle, angle here is semicircle. Okay, so that's it. Okay, so the three undefined terms in geometry. So we have here first the point. A point has no dimension, no width, no length, and no thickness. So can you imagine that one? No dimension, no width, no length, and no thickness. So what is that look like? No, so it is represented by a dot. So that's it. So it is represented by a dot, which is used to pinpoint a location. It is named by a capital letter. In the coordinate plane, a point is named by an ordered pair. Diba? As we discussed before, we have x and y. There, that is a point. No, points in the Cartesian plane. So like for example here, we have point A. So it named by capital letter. No? Point A, point B, point C, and point D. You can see here, it is an example of point. And then look at this. So this is our previous example, as we discussed a while ago. No? We have an orange. So an orange, as you can see here, there is a dot. So that is an example of a point also. Then it can be named A, B, C, and D are examples of points. So it can be named point A, point B, point C, point D. So that's it now. So and then point is very important class. Why? Because everything started uh, with a point. No? Ang lahat ng bagay ay nagsimula sa tuldok. Diba alam niyo yung kanta ni Freddie Aguilar? Ang tuldok ay may salaysay at may kabuluhan na dapat namin at maintindihan. Okay, di ba? So, it's very important. Lahat ng bagay nagsimula sa tuldok. Di ba? Even in ourselves, no? So, we are just a point, just a dot, no? So, if we don't have any direction in life, so uh, today, so if we don't have any direction in life or purpose in our life at this time, so it might be we are just that in this time. No? So we need to set our goal, we need to set our direction so that from that point, no, from that point, so we going to achieve that goal. No? Hindi na tayo toldok. Hindi na tayo in that point lamang. Hindi lang tayo stay that one. So we are moving, no, from that point. Okay, so that is the point is very important. No, that is point. The next one we have here is a line. So a line has no width, no thickness, but it has a length. No, it has a length. Since it extends indefinitely in opposite direction, it is named by a single small letter or by any 2 points on the line. So, but the line, no, even it has a length. So length, no, it has a length, but no width and no thickness. No width and no thickness. It is that is a line. So like for example here, so it is a line, no? So it can be named using the small letter. Like for example, line L. So it is a line L. So extendedly, no? Infinitely, indefinitely. And also in this side also extendedly. Another one, we have line AB. So it also we can name line AB or line BA. It depends on us now where we start, AB or BA. So, or we can name using the sign or the symbol. It is a symbol of a line. So if we want to show a line, no, or to write a line without the word line, you can write this one, AB line. So you put in the upper side of that AB or BA line. So that is how we write the line, no, or to show a line. And then in our previous example, so nakita natin doon, di ba, na tanong doon, what if uh, the small lemon or the small lemon, no, connect, no, the connect all the small lemon. So anong ma-form niya? So our lemon here represent a dot. So nag-represent ito ng dot, no. Pag i-connect pala natin ang dot, lahat ng dot, so ma-form siya ng line. So kaya pala ang lahat ay nagsimula sa tuldok. All started at a point, no, because line is composed of many points, no, composed of many points. All the line is composed of many points. So lahat ng point connect, so nag-form siya ng line. Okay, so that is a line. So lahat ay simula sa tuldok, even the line. Okay, next we have here a plane. So a plane has no thickness. So no thickness na, but it has a length and width. So baka palaki tayo. At before the point, no thickness, no length, no width, or no dimension. Then the line, no thickness, no width, but there is a length. No, diba? But here, no thickness, but it has a length and width. It is represented by any flat surface and named by any 3 points of the plane, which are not on the same line, or simply by a single script letter. A floor tile judges the example of the plane. So that is a floor tile example of a plane. Like for example, this is an example, it is a plane. Or we have a dot A, or point P, point C, point D. So if we connect these 3 points, di ba? If we connect these 3 points, so it forms a plane. Mag-form na siya ng plane, di ba? Ganyan yan, Drea, na any 3 points. So, pwede siya, di ba? 3 point, any 3 points forms a plane. So, how about 4 points? Yes, pwede. Pwede ganit sa tatlo, di ba? How about the 4? Yes, pwede. Then, how to name it? Like, for example, if we have this plane, so we can name it based on their point, no? Plane ABC. Plane ABC ang name natin. Or, we have a R, yeah, or plane R. Or we have another, if you want to name this plane, no? AR, plane R. You can call also plane R. So that is an example of plane. So, diba, kita ang tuldok, i-connect natin ang lahat ng tuldok, nagiging line. Pag ang line, i-connect natin ang lahat ng line 1, line 2, line 3, line 4, lahat ng line, so magiging plane. Kaya, balik pa rin tayo sa tuldok, no? Lahat ng simula ng tuldok. Okay. Okay, so the defined terms and geometry. So if we have undefined terms, so we have also a defined term. So our first defined term here is endpoint. So endpoints refer to the end of a segment array. No, end of a segment array. So like the illustration here, we have a segment, no, a segment, or this is, it is a kind of segment of the endpoint of the segment. That is the endpoint. So, endpoint A of endpoint B. So how to name this one? So you can name that one A and B are endpoint. So it is because it is a point, so we can name it using the big letter because it is a point. A and B are endpoints. So another one is a line segment. So it's a subset or part of a line. It consists of 2 endpoints. So it's a segment, diba? It's a segment, but in the end of the segment, that is endpoint. So but in segment without endpoint, no, so just a segment, no, between the 2 endpoints. AB or BA. So to name that one, you just put a line or a segment or line segment in the upper part of our letter, no? AB line segment, BA line segment. It depends to you where you start, no? A or B. Okay, so another type of defined term, which is array. So array is a subset of a line which has one endpoint and all points from the endpoints on one side. So like for illustration, so it is an example of array. So it is a form, no, of array. So there is a one endpoint and endpoint and all points from the endpoints on one side. So from this endpoint, extended na siya, no? Extended infinitely. So we can name that one using ray rs or rs ray using this symbol, no, in the upper side of our letter. No? So ray rs. Another one, an angle. An angle is a figure formed by 2 rays with a common endpoint and which are not on the same line. So angle, illustration of the angle. So there is a 2 ray, no, dalawang ray having a common endpoint. Ito yung common endpoint nila, which are not on the same line, but they are in different line, but having common endpoint. That is an angle. Okay, so here, the 2 rays extending indefinitely in space are the side of the angle. So, No, side of the angle, this is the side of angle. So OT and OP are the two sides of angle TOP or angle TOP. So we can name angle TOP or by words, or angle TOP by symbol. That is a symbol of an angle. No? So that is the side uh, OT and OP, side of this angle TOP or angle TOP. So the common endpoint of the side of an angle is called the vertex. So ang common endpoint nila, ang tawag pala nito is vertex. Okay? So dalawang endpoint ng ating ray or na form sa angle. So vertex ang tawag nito. Point O is the vertex of angle TOP. So point O, itong point O na to is the vertex of angle TOP. Okay, an angle is named using a number, a vertex, or the vertex, and two endpoints of each of the angle. So, pwede natin i-name siya using a number, no? Number, like for example, this one is the angle 1. Angle 1, no? Kita natin ito. Angle 1 or angle TOP or angle TOP. Angle TOP or angle TOP or angle O using each vertex. Pwede natin name using its vertex, no? Angle O, this is angle O or angle O, or this is a angle 1 because we point a number, put a number here, so we call this angle 1 or angle 1. So it depends on us, no? If there is a letter, we can able to name a letter, or if there is a number here inside, we can also name a number. So it depends on the given. Okay, another type of defined term in geometry, opposite rays. So opposite rays are rays that share a common endpoint and form a line. Like we have an illustration here. So it is an example of a ray. No, there's two ray, and then one ray and one ray. So they have a common endpoint in E. Okay, this is the common endpoint. No? So opposite rays, EY, ito yung EY, and ES, another ray, with E as their common endpoint. Yeah, they call it opposite rays. Okay, so aside from undefined terms or defined terms, we have also a type of postulate, diba? As we discussed a while ago, postulate uh, is do not need to prove it. Postulate no, hindi na kailangan i-prove. Napatunayan na kahit walang patunay. Yun ang postulate, diba? So, but we have types of postulate. So the first postulate here, the postulate 1, so a line contains at least 2 points. So that is our postulate number 1. No? Like for illustration or example here, there is another point beside points W and M. Diba? As we know, we discussed a while ago that a line is composed of many points. So when we say a line contains at least 2 points, so it is possible because the line is composed of many points. Diba? So you don't need to prove it. It is true. It is true. Really true. Diba? So another one here, we have postulate number 2. Through any 2 points, there is exactly one line. So through any 2 points, this is exactly one line. Why? Only one line contains point Q and P. So if we have points here, if also we have points here, so there is exactly one line. It exactly form a one line. If we have points, if we connect these 2 points, it forms a one line. Diba? What is kind of line? Line segment. Diba? Line segment. So through any 2 points, there is exactly one line. That is a postulate number 2. Okay, so for postulate number 3, through any 3 non-collinear points, there is exactly one plane. That is a postulate number 3. Now, illustration, one plane contains point A, B, and C. So, diba? Ito yung mga point natin. So, if we have 3 non-collinear points, so hindi sila magka-align, no? Non-collinear. So, point A, point B, and point C. So, there is exactly one plane, diba? We said a while ago that 2 points, if there is 2 points, there is exactly one line. So this is 2 points, 1 line, 2 points, 1 line, 2 points, 1 line. So if there are 3 non-collinear points, there is exactly one plane. So form siya ng plane. So ito yung postulate number 3. Another postulate number 4, if 2 points lie in a plane, then the line joining them lies in that plane. So for illustration, So we have 2 points lie in a plane, no? 2 points lie in a plane. So yung 2 points, nandito siya sa loob ng plane natin, no? Then the line joining them, or the line joining these 2 points, lies in that plane also. But that is true. If the 2 points nandito sa loob ng ating plane, so syempre, ang line also na nag-connect ng dalawang 2 points yan, nandito rin also sa loob ng plane. That is true, diba? Okay, so for our last postulate, so postulate number 5, if two planes intersect, then their intersection is a line. So meron tayong dalawang plane na nag-intersect, the intersection of that plane is a line. So for the illustration, we have here the plane G. Ito yung plane G natin, nakita niyo. At ito yung plane H. So the intersection of these two planes is a line. Nakita nyo dyan, may line dyan. So ito yung line. That is true, di ba? If the long plane, because our plane is no thickness, di ba? No thickness. So the intersection of these two planes, so it must be a line. That is true. You just need to prove it. Okay, so aside from having a type of postulate, so we have also a type of theorem. So, ano ganyan yung theorem? So, ang theorem, so isa siyang statement no, na pinatunayan pinamagitan ng reasoning or mga evidence, no? Evidence or accepted truth. So, ito yung theorem. So, the first theorem natin is theorem 1. If two lines intersect, then they intersect in exactly one point. So, that is our first theorem. Like, we have here the illustration, no? Line Q and R intersect at M. Ito si line Q at ito naman si line R intersect at M, and no other one point. So this is the point no, of intersection nila. So another theorem is theorem 2. If a point lies outside the line, then exactly one plane contains both the line and the point. So illustration. So we have an illustration here, no? So it is the line. So the 2 points. So it is the 2 points now consists of this line. So if there is one point outside of this line, exactly one plane contains both the line and the points. Itong line at itong points na ito na outside of that line. Okay? So it is a line. Kita nyo itong line, di ba? There is 2 points this line. Then outside of this line, there is 1 point here. So if there is 1 point here, because we have also a postulate, di ba? 2 points contains exactly one line. So dito yun. Theorem also is proven, na-prove because of theorem. It's the evidence. Okay? So, our last theorem, theorem number 3, if two lines intersect, then exactly one plane contains both lines. So, here as our illustration, so may dalawang line tayo, si line T and line I. No? So, how many, there is plane, no? One plane is, so because it is a line, but there is a point of intersection. So, can make connection this here, diba? Because line composed of points. So there's point here, there's point here. So it might be there is a line here. We can connect a point, or we can connect a line here. So it forms a plane. Or here, or connect natin ito. So it forms a plane. So maka-form tayo ng plane. Okay? So that is a theorem number 3. Okay, so let us try to practice now this activity. Use the Venn diagram below to compare and contrast between axioms and postulate and theorem. So base what we learn, what we have learned. So let's try to compare and contrast the similarity and the differences of these two, postulate and theorem. Okay, so you can write your answer in the clean paper, then take a picture and send it to me later on. Now, what's the difference? You can, as we go back now to our discussion a while ago, so what is the difference, or what is the similarity of these two, postulate and theorem? Okay, so here So we have postulate. So postulate, an accepted statement even without proof. That is a postulate. No? Then a theorem, statement that is only accepted after being proved. So what I said now need to be proved, but both are statements within a proof. Okay, that is their similarity. The differences, postulate, again, postulate is an accepted statement even without proof. Theorem, statement that is only accepted after being proved. Okay, so in this exercise number 2, so supply the table with the correct description of the following basic term of geometry. No, based on what we have discussed a while ago about the undefined terms. So we have point, line, and plane. So we already discussed this one. So you are going to answer this one. Again, you can write this one in the uh, clean paper, no? One sheet of clean paper. Then make this table. You can able to make this table and then supply uh, the table, no, with the correct description. For example, we have point represented by, anong nag-represent ang point? Line represented by, plane represented by. Then how to name the point? How to name a line and plane? The number of dimension of the point, line, and how many number of dimension in the point. Then after that, you will give at least 3 concrete example. So I put one here, no, tip of a pen. So you can, but you need to give 3. This is an example. Give 3 concrete example of point, concrete example of line, and concrete examples of plane. Okay, so and then another one. So those, no, and exercise number 2, you need to make it, no. Madali lang man yun, di ba? You need to supply lang the as in the table. So here in exercise 3, so based on this figure, try to give the 5 other names for CG. Di ba ito yung CG segment or line, I mean line. So ito yung CG line, kita natin. So meron pa bang another name ng CG line? Yes, meron pa. Then pangalawa, give 3 points that are collinear. So andito ang collinear points. Okay? Then another one, give 2 names for the plane shown. But we discussed already what is plane, then how to come up with a plane. And number 4, letter D, name the intersection of the plane and line F. Ito yung plane at ito yung line F. At ano ang intersection nila? Okay? So, here, for our answer, and letter A, give the 5 other names for CG. So, the other name for CG is GC. Diba? We discussed a while ago that we can name this one in different order. So, since it's given CG, so is line GC. Pwede rin siya, diba? Or we can name this line, we can also name CA. Line CA or AC. Or AG or GA. So that's it, no? The other 5 names of the line CG. So letter B, give 3 points that are collinear. So saan dito ang collinear? Yung points na magka-align sila, no? The point C, point A, and point G. They are in collinear. They are exactly in one line. That is collinear. And then another one, letter C. So give 2 names for the plane shown. So ano bang, ito yung plane natin, di ba? So ano pwede ma-name natin dyan? So di ba, we said a while ago, if there is 2 points in a line, then there is a point outside the line. So we can make plane. You can see here, we have points C and A in one line. So there is point outside of the line, so it forms a plane. So plane CTG. Okay. The another one, C and G is in the line. Then CT outside the line, so we can also call it plane CTG or CTA rather. Okay. Then, what is the intersection of the plane and the line? Point A. Ito yun. Diba? Ito yung plane. Ito yung intersection nila. Point A. Okay? And for your final activity or for your assessment in this lesson, so try to access in this link. So you can type the link. You can type this link in your browser if you in your browser, or just copy this one and type it in your in a Google or any kind of browser that you have. Then answer the test there, or the assessment there. That is your final quiz in this lesson. Okay, so good luck. Thank you.